Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Skeleton Knight in another world. It's very late here, and I had a very busy day because, as it turns out, we have just a little bit of a celebration, or rather, my cousin has it. I was invited, and I needed a vest for my suit. I thought my vest is fine, but my vest wasn't fine. It was way too short and way too small. So I was hopping shopping galleries today and I still didn't manage to find it. So only now I can sit down and record it for you guys. So let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the show, right? And in this episode, we can certainly expect shit to go down. If it didn't go down in the previous episode, and it kind of did, it will go down in this very episode. Uh, I'm pretty much 100% certain of that. Because, I mean, the previous episode ended with them breaking into the whole facility. Ark and the big dude are making a ruckus in the front, and Ariana and that little Kunoichi girl whose name I forgot are sneaking from behind. So, yeah, we will now most probably rescue all of the beast folk, and oh, happy days. Although something might very well go tits up. We don't know that. The attempts um, at freeing the elves went fairly smoothly. This time it might be different. It's a facility dedicated to holding those people and to trading them like their livestock. So I guess it might be a little bit more protected. I don't know. Also, let's not forget that Ark's magic and that big dude's ninjutsu, I guess, somehow interfered with each other and created those uncontrollable outbursts of rock spikes or something. So, uh, first of all, it gives us just a little bit more insight into the magic system, that ninjutsu and magic are somehow different things and that they can interfere with each other. I don't know if it's going to be used or not, but it's certainly one more fact we have, and one more fact we can, in one way or another, work with. Uh, what else? What else? What else? What else? No, that's essentially it. We're breaking and entering into the slaveholding facility and slave trading facility, and we are trying to rescue as many beastfolk as we can. Mainly thanks to Ark's Gate spell. Also, if I understood it correctly, there are other facilities like that scattered around, and those facilities will also be liberated using the Rakas at this main facility and using the fact that all the forces from all those other facilities will most probably converge at that single point, trying to save, to protect the main facility. Those others will be liberated as well. Hopefully. This show is very weird about how dark exactly it wants to be. Sometimes it's very dark, sometimes it's very light-hearted, so it's really hard for me to uh, to predict how it's gonna end, because the end where they manage to save every single beast folk is probable, and the end where they manage to save like half of them and the other half just dies tragically and gruesomely, that's also probable. So yeah, very hard for me to get a read on the exact mood of this show, because it wants to be two things at the same time and it doesn't always work well together. And also, terribly sorry for yawning, but as I mentioned, it's late. I should be heading to bed in half an hour, and I have an hour of recording ahead of me. and then uploading and stuff like that. So you'll have to forgive me that. Okay, I think the sooner we are done with it, the better. So I'm not going to prolong it any further. I'm just gonna grab myself my sound and give you your subs, and we can start watching episode 9 of Skeleton Knight in Another World. It is episode 9 indeed. Version by subs, please, as usual. And it's gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Stinging Nettle. And of course, the prince is involved. Right, the prince ran away. Yeah, the spikes, last time on Dragon Ball Z. Okay, literally last time on Dragon Ball Z, we're getting a 1-to-1 repeat. Okay, I guess it was significant because they showed it to us again right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of the last time on Dragon Ball Z approach. Like, sure, it makes sense if there's like, I don't know, a month between episodes. Oh, or you stop the season mid-core and continue, or there's a split core situation where there's 12 episodes, uh, and then 12 episodes of continuation, direct continuation, not a sequel, but just a part of the same season, but split in two. The second half airs like 3 months later. Sure, it makes sense to give us some, uh, reminder what happened in the last episode. But when there's a week of time between episodes, it doesn't make much sense, does it? Hmm. And those three rather, are sneaking in. Naruto running in bad CG. My cat is not yawning, but snoring. Yep, you're not a ninja if you can't run like Naruto. Lockpicks? Hello, this is Lockpicking Lawyer, and click on to open. Ponta is gonna want to delay the guards. Yeah, there goes sneaking. Okay, at least we get to see some blood. They haven't been knocked out, they've been actually genuinely killed. Nice to see. And those four will be burned to a crisp. They are really using more and more CG as the show progresses, aren't they? At the beginning, it was just Ark in some scenes. Now it's Ark, Ariana, the Ninja Girl, Ponta, Chiome. I'm guessing it's not gonna be quite that simple. Not using magic, just going full physical. Okay. How's Ark and the big dude? Alive, of course. But besides that, Goemon. Of course he is. He has iron skin. That nipple shine. Yeah, they've been freed already. Where are they, though? Yeah, just left them there. I guess all of the guards are dead at this point? I mean, the Beast Folk aren't really Ark's people, they're Goemon's people. Oh, that's quite a complex structure underground. I thought it's just a bunch of simple dungeons, but... Oh, there's quite a bit more. Oh, it goes even deeper. Who the hell are they keeping here? Some very special beast folk? No, just regular guys. Dead? Yep, corpses. Is anyone on the pile still alive? Can Ark maybe revive some of them? I mean, there's flies around and it stinks, of course, it's corpses. What else would it be? Yeah, makes its own twisted kind of sense. Can you, I don't know, teleport the bodies outside? So that they at least get a proper burial? Of course, the living take the highest priority. Again, makes perfect sense to do that. Iron skin again. That's that frame, that picture wasn't of high enough quality to make it a big stinger, was it? Stinger, zinger, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, just keep teleporting them group by group. Okay. Going back for the bodies? Or going back to kill everybody? Okay. I'm glad. Channel your inner Eins, please. Okay, that's a lot of wounds. Okay, let's go. Just go. Oh, Rock Fang combined with the ninjutsu so that it again goes out of control and completely obliterates everything. That's cool. So it was actually significant that there's this kind of an interaction between them. How much you willing to bet they're gonna fight the Dragon Lord eventually? And they retrieve the bodies. Okay. Just incinerate them. And their souls are free. That's a pretty little scene, isn't it? Very whimsical. I'm guessing you will want to become stronger under Ark's tutelage or something along those lines. Maiden's Oath. Okay, so that checks off first, second part of the title. Because everyone you know is dead. This dude is plotting something. Yep. Uh, et tu, Brute? The other prince. Of course. How are you going to frame this dude dying? So it was Yuriana's necklace. I was correct that I recognized it. I mean, just your everyday regular skimming among nobles. I did not expect Dakares to go out this way, though. I must say. You want to tag along, perhaps? Okay, one last round of wrestling. Yep. uh, I like Goemon, and I really like the relationship that Goemon has with Ark. You girls go wrestle as well. A maiden's oath. Fleeing out of the city? Or what's going on? I guess, yeah, fleeing out of the city. And train? What was that information? About where more elves are kept or something like that? I don't remember, honestly. And what do you know? Princess Yuriana is safe and sound. And who's greeting her? Sister? Sister. I was about to ask, sister, cousin? No, sister. Straight up. A very similar necklace. Okay, so she didn't know that it was Dakaris' doing. Deservedly so. Yep, exactly as planned. Yep, as they were attacked. But she's smart. Yep, she's able to figure it out. I mean, the attack was Dakaris' idea, but he was playing into Sect's plans. And she's smart doing that. Okay. If Sect was to learn that she's alive, he might want to send some more assassins. Let him believe that she's actually dead. Okay, let us hear it. Yes. Holy Revlon Empire. The empire that Dakaris was conspiring with? if I'm not mistaken. So it's not just this country that's involved in slave trade. There's yet another one who's buying slaves. Yeah. Onwards to Revlon. Probably more shenanigans. What else? I'm assuming this is Revlon. Yep, it is Revlon. That's an amazing looking castle. Domitianus. Domitianus, Revlon, whatever. Okay, and he knows of the details as well. Yep. Okay, so Dakaris was trying to use the wolves, but Sect wasn't certain in that plan, so he decided to send additional assassins. Who the fuck is Fumba? Yet another name to add to the list. Now there is some fucking Fumba involved. Sandworms? Sandworms. And Charizards. Okay, so even the Sandworms have rings, and I'm assuming this is Fumba? Where's Timon? Ah, sorry. Hmm. I'm mostly not entirely sure what to think of this episode. We're gonna go through it again, of course, as we always do. Maybe Maybe I'll be able to uh, better put my thoughts together into some actual opinion. There were some good parts to it. There were some bad parts. Bad parts mostly as far as like art and quality are concerned. I have to check out again. Which studio made it? Don't think we're gonna see any after credits scenes, so I'm gonna check it out right now. Um, Skeleton Knight in Another World on AniList. Hope for the future found in the desert. Interesting. Ponta's making big nighttime moves to night picnic, hanging with Ponta. Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick. And put it on full screen, and in the meantime, I'm going to go look at the studio. Kai and Hornets. Kai made Uma Musume and some sport anime, Idolmaster, Fantasy Star Online 2, 7 Seeds. Nothing particularly big. Nothing particularly recognizable, I guess. And Studio Hornets just made Somari Tomori no Kami-sama in 2020. Yeah, yeah. This anime very much has this feeling, this vibe of being made by a an underdog, so to speak. Like you can see it's not Mappa or it's not Madhouse, it's not, I don't know, it's not Kyoani, it's not Trigger. You know, you can immediately see that. It's not even Studio Not. And this is the art style. I don't know what seems so old about it, but I have to mention that it looks very, very old, and I can't entirely put my finger on it. Could be because of the muted colors, could be because of the slightly blurred line work. I don't know, probably a combination of both, but something about this frame looks distinctly not modern. Um, Let me look up real quick a frame from, I don't know, what's like an anime that airs this season and looks fairly modern. Let's say Virgin Road. I want to grab a random screen cap from Virgin Road and just compare it side by side. Yeah, this is perfect. A completely small, tiny, insignificant screen grab. There we go. Okay, open, please. Yep, and I'm even gonna window capture. Yeah, that's fine. Let's figure it out, right? Let's figure it out. Let's take a look at this, and let's take a look at this. I'm gonna bring it here so that I can see them actually side by side. And here's this. First thing you can see immediately is the thickness of the line work, right? In case of Skeleton Knight, the line work is much thicker, right? And in case of Virgin Road, it's like half the thickness. Yeah, it's like half the thickness. So that's one distinction. And I guess that creates that feeling of like being HD, right? As resolution increases, the thickness, everything gets more definition. I think it's about definition. It's about definition. There's also, of course, colors in Skeleton Knight are more muted. But all of that can really be chalked up like as just artistic choice, right? It's not like line work being thinner and colors being more vibrant make an anime look modern, because there are plenty of scenes even in like Virgin Road. There we go. Here, colors are muted, but there is something so distinctly modern and high fidelity about this Virgin Road screenshot as opposed to this frame from Skeleton Knight. I don't know. I don't know. I really can't put my hand on it. So I'm just not gonna bother. But it genuinely looks like Skeleton Knight at times looks like I downloaded a 480p version by mistake. Or maybe not 480, but like 720p version by mistake. It doesn't look 1080p. Again, I can't put my hand on it, but it really looks 720p, not 1080. I don't know why. Uh, that was a tangent. Let's go through this episode again, shall we? As we always do. Uh, yeah, market is under attack, and of course, Takares knows of it because Takares is behind, maybe not all of the slave trade, but a lot of it. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, skip, 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 OP, skip, skip, skip. And then you see that low fidelity frame and low fidelity this frame, and then you see the OP. And the quality, the fidelity, the resolution even immediately increases. Right? It very much feels like this anime was very limited by its budget. It was made on a maybe not quite on a shoestring budget because uh, Kemono Friends was made on a shoestring budget. This had probably a little more budget than Kemono Friends did. They tried to do their best with what they had. I can certainly see that. Kind of the case of Saihead no Paladin, where you could see that the budget they had was limited, but they were trying to do the most with it. The difference being, Saihead no Paladin did look prettier. It overused slideshows and sliding PNGs. Yeah, Saihead no Paladin went in the direction of slideshows and sliding PNGs, while Skeleton Knight went in the direction of using CG for everything. Two sides of the same coin of not having enough budget. And I honestly can't tell which result I preferred. Because sure, Saihead no Paladin was prettier overall, but it was much less dynamic because you would have just a still frame that people talk over. Here, there aren't that many still frames, but they overuse CG. Yeah, both sides of the same ugly coin. Lockpicking a lawyer, their way in. Water wolf ninjutsu, sure, why not? We finally see some actual like blood. People are actually dying. And more people are dying, burned to a crisp. Without blood this time, but they are very distinctly and obviously dead. Now it kind of makes up, not makes up. It in this episode it kind of follows its promise, its initial promise of being kind of gory, kind of bloody, I guess. maybe a little bit. It's still very tame compared to what it was at the beginning, but still. What I can say about this anime, though, is that it did one thing right. It hooked the viewers with the first episode or two being much higher quality, much higher fidelity, and being generally hyped so that you keep up with it, keep up with the show, keep watching it, despite the quality dropping, the quality of like art and animation dropping, because the writing and the characters are still the same, and you're invested in those already. You're invested in the characters, invested in their stories, so you keep watching it. They're kind of doing the opposite to what Shield Hero Season 2 did. They started with an absolute, whatever the opposite of a banger is, with that of an arc, with the Spirit Tortoise. And now the current arc of Shield Hero is actually pretty fucking great, but they started really weak, and people just kept dropping out of it, kept dropping the show. And now that it's getting to the good stuff, some people are not watching it anymore. This show had the insight to actually start really well and then kind of putter out. Are here to save us? Yep. Look at the luxury you live in. You even have a whole ass plate among yourselves. You call it slavery. Yeah, more killing. Ariana stays in the background. And of course, both Ark and Goemon are alive because, again, the show didn't establish itself as particularly dark. It kinda tried, but it failed. It immediately went into the opposite direction. We don't really have to be afraid for how Goemon is gonna do because Goemon's gonna do well. He's gonna survive. He's not gonna die. Of course, he's not gonna. It's not this kind of show, even though it initially wanted us to believe that it is this kind of show. It went for an initial spike and then kind of forgot it. Initial like bit of shock value to get people interested, and then kind of didn't use it anymore. Like we're not even seeing content warnings at the beginning of episodes, right? Weird. Give them a chance to free the captives. They already did it. They're very fast about it. And they just left the beast folk around without any help, without any supervision. They're just hanging around underground, surrounded by one, two, three, four, five visible doors, six counting the stairs, probably more off screen. They can be attacked from each and every side, and they're just waiting and hoping to not be slaughtered. Of course, that leaves just one last building. And yeah, Ariana is with Chiyome. So I thought that Goemon says that, what, you should go with your own people or something like that? Yeah, take care of. Oh, I misread it. I thought it says take care of your people. No, it says take care of our people. It makes perfect sense. Yeah, again, I absolutely adore the relationship that Goemon and Ark have with each other. Understanding each other without uttering a single word, just thumbs up. I'm counting on you, bro. You can count on me, bro. We're doing it, bro. Really enjoy their dynamic. More killing, more fighting. Yeah, cells, and we can run away, but not until we discover a heap of corpses. Because of course we discover a heap of corpses. And yeah, we should get everyone to safety, absolutely. The living take precedence. Yeah, I mentioned this frame. Like, usually when you use a stinger, zinger, whatever the fuck you wanna call it, frame like that, it usually has like much more definition to it. Right? You're like overdoing it. You're letting your artists go completely apeshit on this single frame and add whatever detail they want, make it fucking photorealistic, nearly. This does not have more definition than a regular, usual still from the show. It wants you to believe that it has more definition by overlaying some grungy texture and noise on top of everything. That's not how you add definition that makes sense. That's not how you make a frame prettier. It's how you make a frame look dirty. And yeah, we're teleporting people outside. Of course, makes sense. I put an end to this. Saving Private Goemon. I like one thing to their credit, the definition of wounds on Goemon. Absolutely, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely to their credit. And not a single frame of wounded Goemon, not that I can tell, shows him with just a red stripe for a wound. It's a very common way to show wounds on characters. You just draw a red line, and that's it. Because red is blood, red is flesh, so red line means exposed flesh. Wound 101. No, every frame you see, there is some skin peeling aside. There's some really nice added detail. And I really can't help but see the dichotomy, the duality of this show. Because in some places they really pay a lot of attention to detail and they add a lot of definition to everything. Like, look at Ark's face here, look at his mask, how much definition it has. Goemon's wounds here, they are actually visible, like actual deep wounds. And then you look at Ark's mask, and it's entirely off model. The feathers have some definition, but his mask is off model. Also, Goemon doesn't have wounds here, so it's no biggie, really. It's no biggie. Yeah, teleporting back in. And those three are CG. See, still, wounds on Goemon's body are fully rendered and have very high definition to them. This scene is very pretty as well. Very whimsical. The flaming souls flying off into the ether. And then you have this scene where Ark's helmet looks like it has an underbite. A lot of duality here. Really, a lot of duality. Yeah, Maiden's Oath. She made an oath, she made a promise to grow stronger. The capital in chaos? Well, sure, the capital in chaos, because one brother killed another. Let's become a bit sad. Go and see for myself. And Stabby Stabby Stab by Centurion at the orders of Prince Sect. This honestly surprised me. Like, it was a scene where I was ready to joke that, haha, maybe Centurion stabbed him. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if Centurion just stabbed him? Centurion actually fucking stabbed him. And he's actually dead. There's no, like, haha, Dakaris really isn't dead. He was just pretending or anything. No, motherfucker's dead. He went out with a whimper. On one hand, I like it for how realistic it is. He didn't get a bombastic death of the main villain, right? Going one on one versus Ark and throwing some spells or showing off his sword work or anything like that. No, he died like a bitch, stabbed in the liver. Very realistic as far as assassinations go among the nobles. But at the same time, I guess I kind of wanted more from him. I was hoping he's gonna stick around to a degree. Or rather, I wasn't expecting him to be out of the picture this soon. This goes against my expectations. Both. No, generally in a good way. I think generally in a good way. Yeah. I honestly thought that this dude planned everything and was just working behind the scenes because Dakares is kinda dumb, he's kinda stupid, and this dude has his own aspirations, his own ambitions, and he will stoop to nothing. He will stop at nothing to fulfill them. So now that he has a chance to assassinate the prince and perhaps usurp him, or take over his slave trading empire or something like that, he will take it because he's an opportunist and whatnot. But no, he was also just a pawn, acting at the orders of Prince Sect. That, not sure how much of a fan I am of, honestly. On one hand, cool, that's a reveal that one brother betrayed another, and that Sect knew of everything. He was the mastermind behind essentially all of it. On the other, I'm usually not all that fond of mastermind kind of villains who are like, the main character says, oh, but I found the ultimate sword of light and I will defeat you. And the villain is like, haha, actually, the guide who told you about this sword of light was my trusted aide. I planned it all. I wanted you to get this sword of light because it's needed in my plans and you will use it. It can be cool when executed well, but most of the time it just feels like utter bullshit and retconning. In this case, I'm gonna give Sect the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. With word of beast people having infiltrated the castle town. That whatever action they took would make an ideal opportunity. Timing couldn't have been better. Despite the loss of the wolves and men to this mysterious night. One of the men who escaped did so with some of Princess Yuriana's belongings. Question. Does Sect and Centurion, or whatever the fuck his name is, know that Yuriana is dead? Or rather, do they think she's dead and see it as proof? Or do they know that she's not actually dead? I don't know. And here we get the tidbit that Dakares was obedient to the Holy Revlon Empire in the east. I'm assuming the Revlon Empire has some use for. Actually, just gonna note it down. Why not? Yeah, we have only like two theories so far. So, what was I about? Right, Revlon Empire has some use for the slaves. Revlon Empire has some sinister use for the slaves. Use for the slaves. We'll see about that. Uh, yeah, because it strikes me as maybe they need a lot of souls to power up a Gundam Pope or something like that. And the easiest source of it is just buying slaves from other countries and not putting suspicion on yourselves because, well, you are using other countries as a proxy. You have a few of those Dakaresses in your pocket in every single country around, and they gather slaves for you, and you reap the benefits of it. And if anything is to go tits up, they are the ones to blame. And if they're dead, well, no, nothing can point towards you anymore. I have a feeling that might be the case. Now the throne of the Rodan Kingdom is mine. I'm assuming, okay, Uriana wants the throne. It's a common trope of like the smart princess wanting the throne, that the dumb brother and the evil brother are fighting over. The smart and benevolent princess wants it, and she often either dies or gets it. Only two ways it can go. I don't think Uriana will die, so. Yeah. If it was Overlord, Uriana would be fucking dead by the end of this episode and probably rolled into Nazarick as some Shaltir's slave or something like that. But no, Uriana will live, I'm assuming. Again, wounds on Goemon. They're still here. Cool detail. And I really love their dynamic. I really, really do. My friend, the great hero. Truly live up to the name of Goemon. Comrade, brother, friend. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, Maiden's Oath. The Dawning Sun blesses our camaraderie. Going out of the city. Meanwhile, Yuriana arrives to the city. To her sister, which we didn't know she had. And yeah, now she learns that it was Dakares, but she's smart enough to figure out that, yeah, Sect is now the heir, so it probably wasn't Dakares' doing. Dakares was probably content just having his own business and just gaining money and maybe having a beast woman or an elf on the side to spend some alone time with against their will. He wasn't the kind who'd conspire against, their siblings. Not to that degree, at least. So yeah, Yuriana is able to figure it out. Yeah, what a coincidence that she was attacked and then Dakares died immediately. And it absolutely was Sect. And yeah, she again shows how smart she is. Let's not reveal that I'm alive. No one can tell what they're gonna do. Maybe they're gonna send more assassins after me. Maybe they're gonna send more beasts. Let me do my job first. Calmly, secretly without anything breaking my focus, without having to run away from assassins. Let me go visit the elves, figure stuff out. Then we might tell them that, oh, Yuriana was miraculously discovered to be alive or something like that. This would give me the time. I need to carry out my duty. Yep. Speak with the elves. Yep. Hmm. Yeah, the Holy Revlon Empire is getting all the slaves. I really like the design of that castle. I'm a huge fan of absolutely massive structures like this. This castle is the size of a fucking mountain, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's incredibly blocky, almost industrial, almost cyberpunkish in its shapes, and I love it. Extremely imposing. It looks like a monolith. And this is, I'm guessing, Germany or Prussia, because I mean, double-headed uh, eagle just screams Germany, and of course there's the German, Prussian, whatever looking suit, not suit. The what do soldiers wear? That thing. Emperor Dominiatus Revlon Valtifelbe. Or maybe, since it's Domitianus in Latin, maybe Domitianus Reulon Valtifelbe. I don't know. Something like that. Domitianus. He provided the rings, of course. He knew of the assassination. Of course he did. Killing Uriana so that he could claim it was Dakares' doing. Yep, yep, yep. The heir might be a handful. And someone, like Flub, Fumba. Fumba wants to bring the nation to ruin. That's his plan, and it's progressing smoothly. Who the fuck is Fumba? How he wants to bring the nation to ruin? I don't know. Hey, look at some cool shit. Sandworms. I'm assuming this is Fumba. And he's like the ringmaster. He's Sonic, just throwing the rings around and capturing all sorts of creatures. Hope for the future found in the desert. That's a very vague title. Future of who? Future of the country? Probably not. Future of the world? I don't know. Future of the elves? Future of the beast folk? Future of Ark? Ark's future is all but assured. He's extremely powerful. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. So his future doesn't need hope. I'm assuming future of the elves. Seeing how Ark and Ariana are heading into the desert. I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, Ponta at night, hanging with Ponta. There we go. And there we go. That was episode 9. A Skeleton Knight in Another World. And I liked it. I like the stories, I like the characters. I have a thing or two to say about the art, don't get me wrong, but I still very much enjoy the series as a whole. It's not that I just can't enjoy it, or I don't like it, or I hate it, or I'm forcing myself to watch it. No, I enjoy it very much. It's not a very demanding series on me, right? I don't have to constantly run my gears 24/7 thinking about what the fuck does the pink sparkle in the corner of the screen mean. Is it the passing of human soul, or is it the spark that everybody carries within us to keep on going? Or, there's none of that. It's just your everyday regular isekai show, basically. That's what it is, literally. And I appreciate the simplicity of it. Uh, Something tells me the manga or light novel or whatever wasn't quite simple, or perhaps started off closely about as simple as this anime is, but quickly grew a little bit more complex. I can certainly see the potential. Um, I'm definitely getting the feeling that this adaptation is kind of stripped as compared to the source material. I fully believe that a lot of the gore, a lot of the blood, a lot of those kind of things were toned down or even entirely removed. I fully believe that some of the maybe introspection that arc has, maybe some politics in the background, some things like that were just removed and skipped and glossed over. I can definitely feel that, but it still makes for a fairly enjoyable watch. If this anime started out the way it is now, I would be much more apprehensive watching it because the quality of the art isn't quite up to snuff. Let's be honest here. But I'm glad that I did start watching it, and I'm glad that the first episodes were looking good enough for me to not drop them immediately because the stories and the characters are genuinely fairly enjoyable. I do keep wondering where did that high quality CG of the first episodes went? Where did it go? Where did the quality of art of the first episodes go? Where did the bloodiness and goriness and adultness of this show go? But it's really minutiae, so I'm not going to, you know, think about it particularly much. I'm not going uh, to talk about it much. And my brain is slowly stopping working. I need to go to sleep, so I'm just going to end it here. Um, and yeah, you guys, you tell me in the comments, of course, as usual, what you thought of this episode, my reaction, my theories, all that jazz. But also, if you're familiar with the source material, how does it look compared to that? Is it a fair adaptation? Is it an utter shite of an adaptation? Is it somewhere in the middle? I don't know. You tell me. As long as it's not spoilers, I'm perfectly fine with you filling the gaps that adaptation leaves out. Like this video if you liked it, disliked it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases, not only of Skeleton Knight, but also Shield Hero Season 2, Shokei Shoujo Virgin Road, Spy X Family, Symphogear G, and, of course, Revue Starlight. That's it. That's it. Those are the shows. That's my current lineup. If you want to support me, you can do that monetarily on Patreon and get some benefits like early access to non-seasonal shows like Symphogear and Revue Starlight 1 week early, or perhaps even more than that. And for just $1 or any kind of amount, you get a role on my Discord server that you can join right here. And you also get a place in the credits that will be rolling by soon. And you can also support me without spending a single dime by spreading the word, sharing my videos, sharing my content, sharing my channel. The more people know about its existence, the better. The more viewers I get, and the bigger the chance that some of them will be willing to throw me a back or two on Patreon. Join my Discord, as I already mentioned. If you want to talk spoilers, this is the place to do that because you can use spoiler tags there. And anything else that needs mentioning? Like, comment, subscribe. Discord, Patreon, share. That's it. So yeah, again, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here is the credits that I mentioned. You can help expand the list because it's shrunk kinda recently.